Guys, I have an amazing opportunity to see this turboshaft engine in a cut, and I would like to quickly explain how such engine works and where we are using it. So let's take a look. First, let's take a look what turboshaft engine means. Turboshaft engine is a form of gas turbine that is optimized to produce shaft horsepower rather than jet thrust. In concept, turboshaft engine is very similar to turbojet, like this de Havilland Goblin, which was one of the first turbojet engines. It uses single shaft and the thrust is created only thanks to the turbine exhaust, which then expand in the propelling nozzles where it accelerates to high speed. And this power of high speed exhaust gases we can use by adding additional turbine in this stream and convert it into the output shaft power. They are even more similar to turboprops, where is used almost the same principle, just here the horsepower from the exhaust turbine is used to drive propeller, which create 90% of the thrust, and exhaust just produce about 10% of the total thrust. This turbine can be also stopped on the ground, and I explained this in the video where I have been talking about the ATR hotel mode, and link to it you can find in the top right corner, or later you can find it in the description below. But back to our topic. A turboshaft engine is made out of two major part assemblies. The gas generator, which is basically turbojet engine, and power section, and that consists of free turbine, shaft and some kind of a reductor. And I'll try to explain it on this example. What are we looking at? This is General Electric T58-6, and this engine you can find, for example, in UH-1, which was one of the most famous helicopters. But let's take a look on the construction. Let's start from the front. Here is normally installed starter, which we're gonna use during startup procedures. It will rotate the shaft, and from some point the fuel will be injected in the combustion chamber and ignite with the igniter plug, but we'll get to that later. Here you can find a gear which drive a gearbox on which I'm not familiar with the components, but you should have their fuel unit, a lubrication unit, and maybe hydraulic pump. Most probably this is hydraulic pump. Really, I'm not familiar with this engine, but these are the components which supposed to be on the gearbox. Then we have here 10-stage compressor. But before we will continue, let me quickly explain what is compressor good for. Combustion chamber, for its function, need huge amount of air, and exactly for that we have here compressor. Each stage of compressor compressed air a little bit more until it reach condition favorable for combustion. Another important part of the compressor are stator vanes. These vanes are located between the rotors and they have two main functions. First one is to increase gas velocity, and second is to control the gas flow direction. And you can see here three stages which have a variable angle. This helps engine to prevent stall condition and helps, of course, efficiency of the engine. Here you can see actuator, which belongs to this system, and from compressor we continue further, and when air is compressed it is sprayed into the combustion chamber. Here you can see fuel nozzles on which the fuel is sprayed in the combustion chamber, and this mixture during startup of course is ignited by igniter plug, and then from a certain point the engine is self-sufficient. The fuel and mixture of fuel and air can burn by itself without the help of igniter plug. Of course we have here ignition unit for igniter plug, and as you can see the combustion chamber is separate. You have a hot section and, let's say, cooling part of the combustion chamber. and that helps cooling of this part of the engine. Then we continue to high pressure turbine, two-stage high pressure turbine, which is here to provide, which is driven by hot gases and provide power for the whole engine. And then further we can see free turbine. Why it's called free? Because it is not connected to engine shaft, it is independent, and this shaft provides power for reductor of the rotor, and again it is driven by hot gases from the combustion chamber. Just for your information, this engine weighs around 110 kilograms and it can produce up to 1050 horsepower, but the most powerful version, the 16, can produce up to 1870 horsepower. And just for comparison, let's take a look on this Sikorsky H19, which is powered by Pratt & Whitney Air 1300 engine. This engine can produce up to 700 horsepower, and it is 7-cylinder supercharged air-cooled radial engine. Its displacement is 21 liters, its length is 1.2 meters, and diameter is 1.4 meters. The dry weight of this engine is almost 500 kilograms, and just to give you an idea, it is so big that it fills the entire nose of this helicopter. But it is necessary to mention that turboshaft engines are much more thirstier than the piston engines. So except helicopters, where we can use these turboshaft engines? Well, they are commonly used in applications that require sustainable high power output, high reliability, small size and lightweight. And what does it mean? Well, we can find it for example on this 4000 horsepower speedboat. Then we can take a look on this combat ship, which is called USS Savannah. On this boat we can find combination of the diesel engine and turboshaft engine. And one more vehicle which you can find on the water, this is LCAC, and it is powered by 4 gas turbine engines. And on this hovercraft we can transport our next example. This is M1 Abrams and it is powered by Lycoming AGT 1500. Engine output peak is at 1500 horsepower with 3700 Newton meters of torque at peak around 3000 RPM. Weight of this turbine is around 1100 kilograms, and huge advantage of this turbine is that it can be filled with diesel or jet fuel. This was just few examples where everywhere you can find turboshaft engines, and hopefully this video also gives you overview how this kind of engine works. Big portion of this video I record in Norwegian Aviation Museum, which you can find next to the Oslo airport, and you can find here a lot of interesting airplanes. If you want to see more from this museum, let me know in the comments below, and if yes, I'll try to put together a whole video only from this place. Also, if you want to know more about turboshaft engines, write your questions down in the comments below and I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. That's all from my side. My name is Tomáš, this is Aircraft Maintenance with Zeto. Thank you for your time and I'll see you on next video. Bye.